How would you handle the situation in Dallas? Somebody, who is it? We had Dan Hellie, our buddy. You know Dan from the NFL Network.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and we know Dan a
Sure.
long time because he used to work here in D.C. And Dan threw out, I thought, a great scenario. He said if he was running the Cowboys, and nobody is but Jerry, but if he was, when they locked this thing up, he'd have Romo go in there and start maybe, say, the last game, give him some reps so that if something did happen, injury, or if just Dak, just for whatever reason, it kind of falls apart down the stretch, you'd at least give him some reps there, and it wouldn't be just throwing him into fire without anything. I thought that was a great idea.
Boy.
You don't like that?
That's why no, that's why you guys are where you are. Okay. And so, I'll say it this way. So do you realize how fragile chemistry is on a team?
Of course.
Do you realize the message you were saying? Okay, think about this. Week 1 of the season. Just think about this. Maybe it was week 2 of the season. You had a near mutiny on your hands with Kirk Cousins this year, right?
I don't remember. You'd have to remind me now.
Yeah.
You'd have to remind me of what you're talking about. What's the near mutiny regarding Kirk?
After week 2 or 3, they started whispering about Kirk Cousins this year.
Because he went 0-2.
Maybe nationally. Yeah, I guess a little bit. I guess a little bit locally. A little bit locally.
Here's my point. Here's my point. This is why that's a horrible idea, and no football guy would ever say that, is because you don't send that kind of message in the locker room. Hey, I'm thinking about benching this quarterback, so we're going to get Tony Romo.
That's not what you say. And, Jamie, that's been done before, by the way. It happens all the time where teams lock it up, and then they start different guys.
I don't know anything about that. Here's what I know. You show me the situation where that was done in this situation.
Where a team has benched a quarterback to rest him? That's happened all the time.
No. That's not what we're talking about.
But it's how you would position it.
You use the supposition, get Tony Romo ready.
Well, that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing, but you could sell it a different way.
You can't. Players aren't that stupid, bruh.
Well,
They see what's going on.
Right.
They're there. You're on the outside. These guys are there. They know every whisper. They know who wants Dak there. They know the guy that wants Dak out, bruh. That's fantasy land what you're talking about.
Right.
Players know what's going on. Look at what Richard Sherman is saying.
All right.
About what in particular?
Just in general, he will expose that. You can't, when Richard Sherman talks, there's a lot of truth to a lot of things that Richard Sherman says. Whether you like it or not, there is just truth to it. And my point is, players are very smart, and they're very intuitive to this kind of stuff.
No,
and they
you're
know
right.
a phase out when they see it.
No, but you're right. But
It
the
wouldn't
point is
necessarily be a phase out.
The point is, look, Jerry and Jason want to win a Super Bowl. Whether or not they think Dak can do it is another story. He's obviously having a great year. But if Dak shows some chinks in the armor and he starts to crack a little bit in the postseason,
You're going to put a guy who hadn't played in 2 years.
I don't think that they would hesitate.
Yeah, but you're saying they're stuck with that because, see, here's the other thing. Again, this is football stuff. The way the Dallas Cowboys play football with Dak, as you know, is different than Tony Romo. That's who they are synced into. You use the word momentum. This is what the word momentum actually means. You have found your personality for the season. They have found their personality with that spread, downhill thing that they do that Carolina, very similar to what Carolina did. That's their thing for this year. You don't create and change overnight or in a week. That doesn't work that way. Not to mention the fact that what is Tony Romo's history after coming back from injury? It ain't pretty, boys.
No, you're right.
Listen, I think you're just...
And he's not pretty in the postseason.
I'm going to let Jamie be as condescending as he wants, and he knows everything about football, and we're just, I don't. That's
what
fine.
I'm saying to you, what I'm saying
You played
to you
and
is,
we didn't. I get it.
But I'm presenting to you the real equation. There is a difference between fodder and conversation and good decision-making with a team and the dynamics of a team. That is a great concept outside of the game.
Well, I just think it's happened before. I just think it's happened before. I think coaches will rest guys because they don't want them to get hurt. Maybe they want somebody else to get reps. I just think it's happened.
Well, you're thinking it's happened. Let's talk about when did the situation present itself that you're talking about. That's what I want to hear.
I don't know. Tony Dungy and the Colts? Tony Dungy and the Colts back in the day?
What about it? Peyton has always started for the most part. There's a difference between him getting in the game and, so I could see them starting Dak last week, letting him play the first half and all that. And then if Dallas is ahead and winning, you pull him. But if you put him in there to start that game, I'm just telling you that realistically you're going to cause a problem with that locker room. Why do you think Richard Sherman calling out the OC the other day for throwing the ball again in the game the other night?
Right.
I mean, like I said, I know it sounds good, and maybe I apologize if my tone sounds condescending. My point is, with fans, I don't think you should lead fans down poor paths and give them poor information. Dan Haley, who I love dearly, and he's a great guy, and this is not an offense to Dan at all, but my point is, from that side, from the outside of football or outside of basketball or anything, that might sound
You know what? It sounded good to Sage Roosevelt. We had Sage on. Sage played in the league, 10, 12 years? He liked the idea. We had him on yesterday.
But he may have liked the idea, but that does not mean, and how many teams has Sage really led? My point is, when you...
he played like 12 years in the league.
No, I said led. I didn't say as a backup. Sage Roosevelt was known as a backup in the league.
You can't win.
I'm just saying that.